Rachel Zegler may have completely destroyed her Hollywood career by speaking out abrasively about politics and the culture war, but that's not stopping some inside the industry from demanding other celebrities do the same. It's just a shame that a few movie stars, at least, are now saying, no, I don't think I want to go where Rachel Zegler did, the unemployment line. Hello, folks. We're feeling fine, and we're happy that you have joined us here on our Line of the Sand. Telling the truth with a capital T, it's what we do every single day, and we're happy to do so. Folks, as we dive in, consider clicking the like button, drop a comment down below, let us know your thoughts, and join a community dialogue. And if you would be so inclined, consider clicking the subscribe button if you are not yet joined together in our efforts to keep you ahead of the culture curve. Rachel Zegler has managed to pick up a new job. She's going to be performing at the Hollywood Bowl for a few days. Other than that, she's got a single movie coming out, and that single movie coming out may not ever go to theaters or streaming because it has no distributor deal. And yet somehow, some way, Hollywood is screaming angry that celebrities won't do what she did. Folks, one more time to let you know just how far this young lady fell, and then we'll talk about why they're angry now, wishing that more movie stars would be just like her.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
It's always a performance. It's always performative. Anyway.
Comparing herself to a priceless piece of artwork. That's the Rachel Zegler way.
Yeah, well, the Rachel Zegler way is to completely fall out of Hollywood now. And the people are angry, though, Marv. They're angry. And you've got this article out. The media are now frustrated. Frustration is boiling over that other Hollywood actors won't do what Zegler did. And they're angry about this. They're unhinged. Here's the article. It says, for years, the relationship between Hollywood actors and politics has been treated by the entertainment media as a foregone conclusion. Red carpets weren't just for movie promotion. They were ideological activist battlegrounds. But something is shifting, and judging by the reaction out of the Berlin Film Festival, which we won't stay there and wonder why is the anger over. And anyway, the Hollywood press isn't taking it well. They feel more encouraged when they're in Berlin. Recent coverage surrounding the Berlinale, is that how we say this? How do we say it, Marv?
I write the words. I don't have to know how to say them.
Well said. Has fixated not on films, performances, or premieres, but on what celebrities aren't saying. Political silence, or at least restraint, has become the story itself. Stars like Wim Wenders, Michelle Yeoh, Kevin James, and Neil Patrick Harris have all come under scrutiny for declining to get into politics. There's Kevin James, says, I'm just focusing on what I can do, delivering a fun, heartfelt break from the craziness of the world. He doesn't want to weigh in on politics, right? You've got Neil Patrick Harris said the same thing. Michelle Yeoh also declined invitations to weigh in on American politics when pressed by reporters, citing both distance and perspective. She said, quote, I don't think I'm in the position to really talk about the political situation in the U.S., and also I cannot presume to say I understand how it is. So, best not to talk about something I don't know about. This is not being handled very well, though. Out of the Hollywood in Toto website, hollywoodintoto.com, check it out. Christian Toto writes, free speech bullying shows the sorry state of Hollywood journalism. Berlin Film Festival under fire for refusing to take legacy media's bait. They are angry about this. It says some stars appearing at the Berlin Film Festival haven't been officially canceled, but their lack of hot takes, aka their lack of getting into politics, has sparked controversy. There's Michelle Yeoh right there. It says the short version, share the opinions we want to share or else. And keeping silent is not an option. He goes on to list out some of the options or some of the opinions you're required to say or else, well, Hollywood doesn't want any part of you. The problem is saying those things makes you anathema to the rest of America. And then they don't want to go see what you've got to say in your movies. So who's going to win? Who's going to lose? Well, there's one thing for sure. That is, ladies and gentlemen, the Rachel Zegler way is no way for celebrities to behave. Vash, what do you make of this idea now that there's a backlash over celebrities saying, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to take on the orange Godzilla. I don't want to I'm here to promote a movie. And now there's a backlash in Hollywood, not against Billie Eilish and her stolen land comments, not against that, but against people who just say, no, I'm good. I'm not a political person.
Well, there's this idea among the very radical that if you're not with us, you are against us. So you have to continuously vocalize your support and so forth in order to be included into the club and to be one of the accepted celebrities out there, and that you're using your platform in order to make change and so forth. And if you're not doing that, well, we, look at you very, very differently. I think that's what's coming out here. We've heard the whole silences, violence kind of rhetoric and so forth. That's what I think is really playing out here, and why people maybe have strong reactions to celebrities choosing not to engage in these issues. They think, oh, well, you're just trying to preserve your brand and so forth, so you're putting the issues, below you and all of that. This is kind of the extremist mindset and the radical mindset. This is where it takes you down. The ends justify the means, everything else.
Yeah, I mean, this plays along with the previous conversation we were having. Do movie stars make movies? No. And this is something that they created. They created this hardship by lashing out on specific issues. So people will skip their films. I mean, a lot of people in our sphere, including Disparu and others, say, look, if Mark Ruffalo's in something, I'm not going to go see it. I'm no longer interested. That's how badly he's damaged his reputation. So, social media has really harmed what we think of these people and how well things will perform. And this is just the natural remedy to that, is having film festivals say, I don't want any part of this, or having the stars themselves say, I don't know enough about this to even venture a conversation on it. That's a safe space to play from, and it's where Hollywood used to be. Absent the current nest of bad advice from PR agencies, the idea was to sidestep anything that might even be considered divisive or controversial. So we've changed quite substantially, and I think social media is largely to blame.
So, Jonas, there's an expectation that you must weigh in now in order to be part of the club. The problem is, if you weigh in, the market doesn't want you anymore. So some of these celebrities are really having to walk a tightrope to stay inside the Hollywood bubble. Jonas, you're mutified.
You think about what it used to be a while back, where they would say something like "save the whales," and who's going to disagree with the idea of saving the whales? Or well, we need to do more to protect the planet. Okay, yeah, sure, yeah, that's fine. We need to reduce CFCs. There was an entire segment of a G.I. Joe episode about reducing CFCs, and mostly people don't have a problem with that. But when Hollywood started to kind of get high on their own supply here, and they start going into radical gender theory and try to say that anyone who disagrees with them politically is some like the World War II villains. This is the point at which a large swath of America goes, okay, you do need to remember that you play pretend for a living, and we pay for those tickets. So if that's how you feel about me, I'm not going to participate.
And the Yahtzee thing really does. I'm over it now. Like if you use that, you are undermining how awful the atrocities were and what was done to the victims, who are no longer, mostly they've passed away now. And so they can't say that's inappropriate. And so to do that now, I think you're an unserious person if you use the Yahtzee comparison. Marvin, let me get your thoughts on this one as we go into it. You sent this to me. Variety has this as an exclusive out of Variety, adding to the conversation. Javier Bardem, Tilda Swinton, Adam McKay, and 81 other names have signed an open letter, not ladder. Variety, what are you doing?
They also misspelled Javier Bardem, so...
Condemning the Berlin Film Festival for its silence on some stuff in the Middle East and its censoring of artists who have spoken out. We call on them to fulfill the moral duty and clearly state its opposition to what's happening in the Middle East, crimes against humanity, war crimes against people in the Middle East, and completely in involvement, shielding, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea.
It's there to show movies.
Yes.
That's the thing that boggles my mind. These people are there to talk about movies, to get you to see their movie. They are not here to provide enlightened commentary on the state of the world. It's maddening that this is part of the Hollywood job description. And they are so angry at people like Kevin James, at Neil Patrick Harris, or people like Dolly Parton, who sit there and say, like, I don't want to get involved in that. Like, I'm just here to do my thing. Michael Jordan, Republicans buy sneakers too. You know, and these are people that have, you know, long, healthy careers because they're not sitting out here, you know, debate. Like, at the end of the day, I don't think anyone will go see an Avengers movie because a specific actor is in it, but they might avoid it if certain actors are in it. We saw it with Fantastic Four. How many people were like, I'm not going to see a Pedro Pascal movie, and just didn't go?
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right.
This is where we're at now with this. It's absolutely disgusting and maddening that they think that Hollywood actors have to be the moral arbiters.
Well, not only do they have to be the moral arbiters, but they're against the majority of Americans, I think. I mean, this stuff is crazy. So here's the deal, too, okay? Their industry is going away. I don't know what they're going to do. These people don't influence anybody. Nobody's going to see their stuff. Where is the money going to come from? Where is the institutional power that they enjoy where is that going to arise from if their industry is gone? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's wild. People have spoken very clearly that they don't want this. They want escapism. They want to get away from the world, and they're basically like Rupert Grint was at this Berlin Film Festival, and they were like, "Could you please describe what your opinions on the rise of fascism in the United Kingdom?" And he was like, "Well, obviously I'm against it, but like, if you want my opinion on that, I'll tell you when I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you at another time, not here." And the Variety headlines were Rupert Grint speaks out against fascism. Like they are, it's like Mickey and the Beanstalk when Mickey, Donald, and Goofy are like trying to cut up that one bean and like the tiny little like slivers of bread to eat.
That's such a great illustration. Yes.
It's insanity. They count, the outrage machine counts on those political quotes because that's what drives their clicks, and the fact they're not getting it. The one guy, the German journalist who was asking a lot of these questions, he had a hissy fit about this, and he was basically like, it is an artist's duty to speak out against fascism. And I'm just like, dude, you live in Germany and you're talking about fascism. Like, come on, man. Like, you're all throughout this entire Berlin Film Festival, you have seen a divide, a wall, if you would, between these two sides. And it has been absolutely ridiculous.
Right. Choose your path, celebs. You want to become like Rachel Zegler? We know how you do that. And it's do what the media is telling you to do. She did exactly when she said, she's not going to be rescued by no prince this time. When she did that, media loved it, man. Awards came in, and guess what? She's unhireable now.
You could be Rachel Zegler, who makes who makes maybe 4 movies in her life and then never really works again. Or you could be Kevin James, who has worked consistently in Hollywood for decades now.
But he did get left at the altar, so that was sad.
That's a fair point.
Fair point indeed. Vash, I'll give you the final word on this. Your thoughts about the paradox of celebrities. If they don't talk, they do better in the market. If they don't talk, though, they also aren't invited to be in any more movies because Hollywood is just determined. They're just deranged and determined to make sure they're as unmarketable as possible.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So obviously there's a club, right, in Hollywood in which, you know, you're either in the club or you're out of the club. And one of those things, one of the ways that you can ingratiate yourself with the club is if you come out against these, you know, these issues and so forth. And so Hollywood will try to you know, build up these players, but will the audience actually accept them? And that's where the, you know, rubber hits the road right there. There's this confusion between influencer and celebrity, right? They see influencers, or they see people who have obviously political takes on political channels and so forth, and they go, oh, I can go ahead and do that, and people will come to me for me, my opinion, and so forth. But it's like you're in two separate industries. People are going to these influencers because they legitimately want to see them. They want to have access to them. I think that's what culture was really bringing out right there. But you know, whereas celebrities, you are playing a role. You're playing a role in film and television, and people might like seeing you in those roles, but they're not necessarily going to see you and your opinions. And I think there's like a confusion to suggest that you know, people from the standpoint of these celebrities, oh, they're coming to see me because, you know, I speak out against this and that and the other thing, and it's like it just doesn't do anything for you, not in that way.
Age of the celebrity's over. It's over, it's done, and they're still just pretending, and, you know, bags of hot air. They got lots of hot air. Pulling Hollyweird to the sensible center, the mainstream middle where money is made is not easy, but folks, you make it easy to make videos each and every day because sharing time with you is a great honor, and we never take it lightly. An attitude of gratitude every single time we have the chance to shine with you. Until the next time, we only ask that you click that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, don't worry about paying any kind of tuition for this free class and how entertainment works. You are on scholarship. Highest IQ on the internet, that's you for sure. Until the next time we have the opportunity to spend time together, folks, we just ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.